Hey there, so today I want to return to that wonderful world called entertainment, and today I want to return to the wonderful world of voice actors, where voice actors apparently think that what they put out on social media, it's pretty much there to stand as a testament to who and what they are. But of course, if you comment on it, well, you're a monster. Now, we've already covered that before, but it's kind of interesting how spin and how spin doctoring comes together, and especially when you look at the narratives that are promoted. Here we have Monica actually responding to something that I'm assuming comes from a video that I made, because I thought that one of her tweets was kind of interesting. These days, she has been talking about sending people toward law enforcement, telling people that she's going to lawyer up, telling people that she's going to send you to the cyber crimes division, and of course, if you talk about anything out there too, you're monetizing hatred and on. You know, it's standard fare with people that want to put out a narrative but don't want you to be able to talk about said narrative. Now, what these folks don't seem to understand is that Twitter is open game. This, by terms of service, anyone can talk about what's there. This, it doesn't just stand as a monument to the passing of time. No, anyone that can keyword search and on can find beautiful things. And well, some of the things that you find out about, you find little dillies like this. You better hope the police find you before my boyfriend does. Now that came from 2012, as I noted in a video before, and apparently Monica did not like that put into a video. She decided to post this. Okay, guys, last thing I'm going to address on this matter. Why do we always hear that, by the way? Last thing I'm going to address on this matter, and yet it comes up repeatedly. Comes up repeatedly. You know, it's like a broken record. If you're not going to address anything, then don't address anything more on it. But continuing, it has come to my attention that a YouTuber has decided to use a tweet from 2015 against me. Oh man, 2015. For some reason I had it in my head that it was 2012. But hey, I digress. This was not directed at a fan. It was in response to an imposter who was posing as VAs and posting gross pictures. It doesn't matter about the context to it. What matters is that you put out there a message that showcases the tact of it. Hey, you better hope the police find you before my boyfriend does. Here are some more screenshots with that, too. I'll join that posse. No one messes with Monica. Grr. You know, I mean, look at these. These are lovely. Who's that going toward? A Twitter creeper. I believe that that's in there as well, too. The moral of the story, don't believe everything you hear on YouTube. No, make sure that you believe everything you hear on Twitter, you know. I thought, by the way, that we lived in a listen and believe setup. I thought that everything someone threw out there, it was all news. It was all factual. I mean, otherwise, we may actually have to question what people throw out there. And if we start questioning, then what happens to the narrative we've been promoted about a specific voice actor? Very weird there, I know a lot of great YouTubers, but there are some that will do whatever they can to make a profit. And yes, they are profiting off other people's pain. It's disgusting and it's hurtful. So it's disgusting, it's hurtful, you're a monster, and on. Anyone who has met me knows that I would never threaten anyone. You would never threaten anyone, I find that to be rather interesting, considering there is a watch list. And I have names and numbers of multiple harassers, but I'm willing to forgive if you stop the madness now. You remember that little dilly. We're keeping a watch list. We know who and what you are. Maybe there's some other ones out there too. Let's go and review. How about this one? This is one of my favorites. Freedom of speech does not equal freedom from consequences. You know, I wonder when you think about that, how exactly exactly is that going to measure up? When people are talking about, say, lawyering up on the VIC side there, before you choose to harass me, apparently, going out and digging up someone's Twitter, going and talking about that, apparently that's horrible, that's harmful and on. Apparently you're a monster. Please be aware that I have attorneys and law enforcement involved. We are taking threats and harassment very seriously. Any threats and harassment will be screenshot and forwarded. And just to be clear, here's the legal definition of harassment. Harassment is governed by state laws, but is generally defined as a course of conduct which annoys, threatens, intimidates, alarms, or puts a person in fear of their safety. Annoys, again, as I've said, this morning, if I wake up, I've got a little bit of a headache because of a 3-day bender. Well, the birds outside and the sun, they're harassing me. You know why? Because they annoy me. My headache there, I am perfectly entitled not to have that bird outside. And when somebody goes out and utilizes social media, apparently, the echo chamber that they create, they think that they are perfectly entitled not to have people talk about what's there. Interesting. A public figure goes out, does something, thinks that you can't look at their stuff and you can't comment. Here, think before you post, too. Ron telling you, here's some anti-bullying laws and policies in Texas. Then you get into the wonderful stuff telling people that they will be reported. You will not be harassed. You going out there, it's going to be reported again and again and again. Now, there have been wonderful dillies as well that talk about the cyber crimes division, that talk about the involvement of YouTubers and how they're all discredited and they're all debunked, because again, people that are talking about this, well, it's amazing. You get spin doctoring on one side of that, and that's somehow A-okay, but when people talk about what you put up there, awesome there. I apologize, though, she says, for lashing out in fear, but I have been passing harassing messages to authorities to protect myself. Anyone in my shoes would do the same. I'm going to ask again, please be kind to one another. What about the thing with that certain voice actor? How is that being kind? I keep hearing, again, let me review that statement, because, again, these are your own words here. You talk about within this, you talk about how this guy, basically, he was and still is someone that you consider a friend. You go through that. You talk about that. You also talk about the fandom that you're involved in and that you love. And yet, when we think about that specific voice actor, that specific person you think is a friend, well, you see the statement out there. I see the way that comes together. And then also, that fandom that you love, that fandom that you're tired of fighting with and that you're not going to comment on again, by the way, until you comment again. Yeah, you have this stuff come up as well. It seems to be like this broken repeat pattern, over and over again. But hey, don't harass other people, even if they don't agree with you. This isn't about agreeing or disagreeing. And apparently, when you talk about things, apparently that is harassment. Again, when we go in and we look at this broad context that these folks are throwing out there, having an opinion on something, voicing that opinion, talking about what's out there, and talking about tact. Because from my conversation, this stuff is about tact. It talks about the tact of now versus the tact of when. You see now, you see the tact of I'm going to go and I'm going to report this over and over. Let's actually refer to those screenshots. Thanks for the tweet. I've screenshot, send it to my attorney and law enforcement. I will not be harassed. If you look at that context versus you look at this context, as I said before, I'm not sure which which actually ensues more hilarity. But, I'm willing to actually think about which one. I always find this stuff to be particularly fascinating, though, when I go in and I look at things that have come from not only this person, but came from people that are in their orbit, and also, well, from specific attorneys, too. I mean, if you want to look at people in their orbit, well, let's not forget all of those wonderful things that Ron has thrown out. And you'll notice, what is the connection with Ron? Well, I know it's a little small there, but there's Ron. There's Monica. All right. So you see, she understands the ramifications of her words. That's what people don't understand. If it wasn't true, she wouldn't have said it. Why do you think Vic hasn't tried to sue her for defamation? Why do you think none of the other voice actors have defended him? I actually would love for this to go to court. Please let him, talking about Vic, sue. The best defense against libel and defamation is the truth. The procession of people coming to courtroom to share their testimony would be a magnificent sight to see. Again, all right. And here's more stuff about suing. If we are lying, he should sue. We'd love to see him in court. In a defamation case, the people filing the suit have to prove she lied. The best defense against defamation's the truth. Yeah. It's just like that idea that harassment equals annoyance. I don't think you've kind of captured the spirit of the law in these statements. And well, of course, if we look at this, we see the beard, the beard that is basically, it's fallen off of Chuck Norris and become sentient, as someone said last night. Yeah, here you have Ron talking about, he isn't going to sue, talking about Vic. You trolls think him lawyering up was an offensive move. Sorry, it was defensive. He knows the skeletons he has hidden in the closet are coming back to haunt him. The beard says 5 words, and again, imagine those like a hand. Imagine, looking at your own hand. Each one is a finger that is clenching in on itself. Yeah, we will be in touch. Oh, makes a mighty, mighty fist, doesn't it? 5 words that resonate across the entirety of this stuff. And well, you can see all of the people out there commenting and on. Oh, man, this stuff has been interesting. But apparently, you're not supposed to comment. Apparently, you're not supposed to go out and archive or look. And if you do, apparently you're some type of monster. Finding this stuff to be absolutely interesting and absolutely entertaining, because all of this stuff is indeed entertaining. I hate to break it to these people. It is. This stuff, you have decided to put it in the public. That's what all of you did. You dumped all of this out there thinking that there would be no response. And when there's a response, well, we get to hear how we're children, how we're harassers. We get to hear all of these disparaging things, all of which forget the one thing that we truly are. We are either potential consumers, we are consumers, or we are former consumers. And well, we're all apparently monsters too. Fun times, isn't it? Fun times. But anyhow, I'll leave you with that. Get what you think about that. If you look at this stuff too and you say, that umbrella guy, I love what you're doing. I love this channel. In fact, I'd love to go through and create an archive just for that channel because, it speaks right to my heart. Isn't that nice? Isn't that beautiful? Make sure that you sub. Make sure you hit that bell for daily content. And if you'd like to go further on that, if you'd like to, go out and say, archive this in gold, send out, copies to everyone else. If you want the channel to do that, look up the descriptions, because, that stuff, it's all initiated right here. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. Also, leave your comments. I'm curious about what you think about all of this stuff. And if you want to go further, if you want to talk about, pro or con, anything in that, hey, bring it there. Also, I want to end on something like I was talking about just a minute ago, about appreciation of the consumer. See, you make all of this stuff possible. And well, out there, while we're here, I'm not chasing the current year STD. I'm not chasing that socially transmitted disease, the current year clap. I don't need a little bit more of this, and I don't need a little bit more of that. No, I want to look at this situation I want to be able to talk about it. And, I want to be able to talk about it freely, just like you. I also want people to be able to see that, agree or disagree, and to comment, because I respect those folks out there. They deserve to see what's out there. And these folks, they don't like you unearthing that. But I want to end thanking you for popping up here too, because anytime someone disagrees with these folks, they try to bury you. Not me. Don't care about that. I appreciate you showing up. So thank you. We'll do it again.